Hey, welcome to World Entertainment, and it looks like Fast 11 in the Fast and Furious franchise may now in fact not be the final movie, because the CEO, or Chief Something Officer of Universal, is hinting that there is possibly going to be more Fast and Furious movies, and possibly TV spin-offs as well. Yeah. So it looks like Fast 11 may not in fact be the end. And the funny thing is, she's talking about bringing it back to what the original movie was going forward, which is an interesting idea given how absolutely insane these movies have gone. And the one thing I was thinking about is the dude who got killed in the first movie, in the drive-by, the young guy, he must be super pissed. Like the actual actor, to be like, wow, I got killed off in the first movie and they're now up to 11 of these things. And everyone else in these movies has been blown up, shot, kidnapped, everything. And they all just walk away. Look at The Rock in, I think it was Fast 7, maybe 8, where he literally gets blown up out of a window, hits the ground, and all he got for his trouble was a cast on his arm. It's like, wow. But let's have a look at this. So, Fast and Furious franchise has a lot of potential for TV. Universal boss teases Fast 12. So, in 2025, the Fast and Furious family will reunite once again to shoot the last film in the main saga led by Vin Diesel. But there are still some stories left to be told, and they could be brought to television, according to NBC Universal Studio Chief Donna Langley. It's been more than 20 years since Diesel and the late Paul Walker started the franchise, a franchise that they had no idea had so much potential for expansion. After 3 low-budget films which built the foundations of the universe and the characters of what would become one of the most successful franchises in history, the fourth outing, Fast and Furious, was the turning point, creating a story that would define the series with its implausible action scenes. Last year, with Fast X, the family began to say goodbye to its audience. Since the next installment will presumably be the last in the main saga, of course, there are still ways for the adventures to continue on the big screen with more spin-offs like Hobbs and Shaw, or a potential movie starring all the women in the franchise. Oh, good God. Something that has been talked about many times. But there could also be new stories to tell on television. Speaking with Variety, Donna Langley revealed that after having had success with other IPs from the studio such as Pitch Perfect or Ted on the small screen, there are other franchises that have potential to make the leap from film to television, and she specifically referred to one. Fast and Furious is a good one, she said. Additionally, Langley talked about the approach that the next and final installment of the saga could take, moving away a little from the explosive action of the most recent films to focus on what worked so well in the first outing. And she said, "Where we go next is a question. We may pivot another time and bring it back to the streets of LA and maybe make it a more intimate story." So, you're hearing there that if they continue the franchise after 11, now, as you can see, there's no details about cast or anything. Like, would it continue to be the main cast or anything? Don't know. Probably not. I'm sure Tyrese would probably have a nosebleed if they do a movie without him, because he seems to be just a whiny little bitch. But they want to bring it back to being what the first movie was, which is interesting, weird if they were to do it. But also why it would make sense is, well, these studios need to cut the budgets down. That's the thing. They really need to get the budgets down. So apparently the Fast and Furious franchise has made 7 point something billion in all 10 movies that are so far out, with a combined budget apparently of only 1 point something billion. And press the next doubt with that, I think that budget would be a little higher. Not like 4 billion or anything, but I think it'd be a bit higher. But how weird would it be? Because I always find it very strange that when you look at the very first movie to Fast X, it's like you wouldn't think they were the same franchise. It's like, this one is okay, this guy's just does street racing for the slips, for the cars, while he works as a mechanic, to they're super spies that can do anything and everything. You know what I mean? It's like the governments come to them and say, hey, this thing's been stolen, and you and your crew are the only people who could steal it back. Even though if you look at the first movie, it's like you were infiltrated by an undercover cop. You could have been arrested and taken down, except he let you go. Multiple movies have you been caught. You know what I mean? And again, I go back to that poor guy in the first movie who got gunned down and is fully dead in the franchise. And then you think like, wow, all these other people were meant to be killed off in this franchise and no one died. Including the guy who actually died in real life, still managed to be in the movies. Looking at you, Paul Walker. Like, that guy must be pissed. He must be like, wow, I could have been getting great paydays, and instead I've fallen off into obscurity. But a Fast 12 could possibly be happening after the next movie, which of course is delayed, and they're saying it now looks like it won't come out until 2026. And of course, Vin Diesel going to do Riddick now will slow down that production until now. It's saying they're going to film it next year. I keep seeing it's either going to be filming at the end of this summer, which they keep saying it's around August or something, and now it's saying next year, so we'll have to wait and see when it actually films. But what do you think? Would you be interested in more Fast and Furious movies and potential Fast and Furious TV shows? Let us know. So with that, I'll leave it there for this one. So cheers. I'll catch you in the next one.